working, but there are no
Okay,
other
the
side
league is
effects.
gonna... Yeah!
Hell?
You teleported us right in front of the
What tipped
ops?
you off?
I don't have time for this. I
Nah.
need that data.
I'm sorry. Good Lex Luthor stays taking L's in this movie, bro. See?
That'll be enough of that.
Ain't no way she rocks Superman shit, bro. Nah, Superwoman was standing on business in this movie. Jeez. Suits did not let that shit slide. I still don't know who the fuck this is supposed to be, bro. Like, who the fuck is this fucking MC Hammer crisscross ass? Who is he? Well, I guess it doesn't matter now, because your ass is out. See? Ooh. I guess that's supposed to be elongated, man. Flash gonna take him for a ride. I guess that's Cheshire. Doesn't matter now. I like the design for Vixen's suit in this show, in this movie. Not bad. Black Lightning with this classic. I love this homage to like classic 70s Black Lightning. Manhunter says, "Psych!" Yeah! Is that just me, or was that hit a lot more aggressive than the others we see in this fight so far? So that's Halo. In case you were wondering how a fight between Flash and Reed Richards would go.
That's what I call tuning somebody up.
Excuse me. Can I talk to you for a minute?
If I had to guess, I would say that's supposed to be Saturn Girl from Legion of Superheroes, like evil Saturn Girl. Jeez. Nah, Scar from the Lion King is gonna be a challenge. Now she's a Cobra? Cobra Kai? Now she's a... If you're ever wrestling in the woods with the grizzly bear, help the bear! That bitch gonna need it. We need to bring that TikTok sound back, bro. Oh man, Hal is struggling, bro.
I've played this game before.
I see what you did there. I mean, that was cool and all, but Jon Stewart never would have let that shit get that far.
Fight me. You want to help me.
I don't want to fight you.
I swear, animated Wally West always stays simping,
Hey,
bro.
this is like the Jedi
And
mind
I'm gonna
trick.
headcanon this Flash as Wally West Flash, even though it could be Barry Allen. But Wally West Flash is always the one who like has white pupils in his mask. Barry Allen, you can usually see his pupils through the mask. That's how I usually try and tell them apart. It's not always like that, but that's how it usually is. See, Superwoman standing on business. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe I spoke too soon. Damn. You know, for a guy who's supposed to be like the smartest dude in like the entire multiverse, Owlman fighting Superman head on is a pretty dumb fucking move. Especially since he doesn't know that this is like, I guess he would know that these are like the good versions of him, but yeah. Still, for all you know, this could be a Superman who kills. Gypsy. And that's not me. That's not a slur. That's literally her superhero name, or at least it is on
We've
Earth
got
One.
to retreat.
Why? We're winning.
Superwoman's called in the
I'm loving
cavalry.
this energy
And
from
if
Martian
it's who I
Manhunter,
think
bro.
it
He's
is,
like,
we're
hey,
not
we
prepared to fight
spinning the block
Don't
right
make
now.
this
Like
game.
we.
What are we in for?
At least 3 made men, almost as tough as Superwoman.
Made
Oh,
men.
Later, I don't have time
oh,
to
shiver me
explain.
timbers. Like,
Follow me.
let's keep it a buck, bro. If the rest of the crime syndicated is as bitch made as the rest of the sorry ass crew they just fought, Justice League is clearing. Low diff. I will never understand why Marvel stopped making animated movies right when they were at their peak. 'Cause back in the mid 2000s, they was going band for band with DC.
Stop the cap.
So let's count down my top 10 favorite Marvel animated films of all time. Number 10, Ultimate Avengers 2. The sequel to the first Ultimate Avengers movie and a loose adaptation of the Ultimates comics, but significantly less gross and incestuous. It's also the introduction of Ultimate Black Panther, showing T'Challa's quest to avenge his father's death. While I do find this film perfectly enjoyable, not a lot happens in it. The pacing of this movie is just all over the place. There are scenes that drag on way too long. There are other plot lines that should have been fleshed out more that don't have nearly enough time to develop. All in all, while still enjoyable, it's a significant step down from the first movie. Number 9, Big Hero 6. I know this might not be a popular pick for the number 9 spot. A lot of people will say it shouldn't even be on this list. I think it's a super fun and charming movie, which mind you is absolutely nothing like the Big Hero 6 comics. But luckily, nobody gives a shit about these characters, which allowed Disney to pretty much write their own ticket. The characters are solid, the action is fun, the animation is beautiful. The fact that they were even able to do all this with a comic I have absolutely zero interest in, I think is a feat worthy of praise. Number 8, Planet Hulk. Super simple film with a super simple premise that shows the Hulk having been banished from Earth by the Illuminati, forced to fend for himself on the gladiatorial war planet of Sakaar. This is my Hulk, bro. Not the bitch made I don't have her home at 10 sir ass Hulk we got now in the MCU. Again, this ain't the most narratively complex movie you've ever seen. This ain't no Studio Ghibli masterpiece. You want to see the Hulk on absolute demon time like you've never seen him before? Planet Hulk is the movie for you. Number 7, Thor Tales of Asgard. The movie that shows the adventures of a teenage Thor before he was worthy to lift Mjolnir, which is actually an idea that I kind of wish we got a chance to explore in the MCU. Just a really cool coming of age story showing Thor and his Asgardian friends on a quest to become who they're destined to be. It's also one of the first projects to really humanize Loki. You get to know him in this movie as Thor's mischievous little brother who he always has to bail out of trouble. It does a lot to make you understand the root of the resentment and eventual hatred that he has for his brother. Warriors 3 also play a really cool part in this movie. Thor and Lady Sif's romance gets a lot of development. It's everything you could want from a classic Thor story. Now, this next one is definitely a cheat, because while I thought I had enough movies to make a top 10 list, turns out I don't. So the number 6 spot goes to the original 5-part Phoenix Saga from X-Men the Animated Series, which I say counts, because it's a 5-episode arc that's pretty standalone. Really don't need to know a lot about the X-Men to understand what's going on, and all 5 of the 22-minute episodes in this saga add up to around the same runtime as the average Marvel animated movie anyway. So I'm putting it on the list, damn it. I will never now find it funny how the movies have tried to replicate the greatness of this animated special twice and failed spectacularly both times. Writers of the show understood what made the original comic storyline great, also changing some key components and switching things around to make it better fit the universe that this show set up, also adding some new elements to it. The evil Professor Xavier arc, where he goes crazy due to the mental tampering from Lilandra, watching his dark side tear apart the team that he created. Just all around great storytelling. Be sure to like this video for the remaining top 5, and if you're repping the 416, catch me at Toronto Comic Con this weekend. My team and I are going to be walking the floor interviewing cosplayers and shooting content. You didn't grow up watching the Marvel direct-to-video animated movies, you had one sorry-ass childhood. So here are my top 5 favorite Marvel animated movies of all time. Number 5, Ultimate Avengers the movie. Before the MCU Avengers set the world on fire, we had this. This adaptation of the Ultimates comics is a classic example of how to take what worked best from the source material and discard what didn't. This was the movie that actually made me respect Captain America as a character. Because before, I only knew him as the guy on the covers of all the dollar bin comics I would never read. But watching him in this movie as he rallies together this team of narcissists and loose cannons to defend the planet from the Chitauri invasion while also trying to reacclimate to life in the 21st century, it made me see him in a whole different light. But hands down, the best part of this movie, the Hulk fight at the end. That's the scene I find myself coming back to rewatch the most. To the point where on the original DVD I had, I literally wore that part out from rewatching it so many times. Number 4, Hulk versus. Some people choose to count Hulk versus Thor and Hulk versus Wolverine as 2 separate movies, but I don't. As I alluded to in my previous video, going back to rewatch this movie after 5 years of domesticated Professor Hulk is a damn breath of fresh air. It's also one of my favorite on-screen depictions of Wolverine that we've gotten. How they interweaved his initial fight with the Hulk with the whole Weapon X program and bringing Deadpool and Sabretooth in. That shit went crazy. Especially since this was a PG-13 movie that was able to get away with a lot more than they were on TV. Got to see Wolverine actually slicing and stabbing motherfuckers. Even the Hulk vs. Thor segment, while not nearly as entertaining, still really solid both narratively and animation-wise. Speaking of Wolverine, before we get to the top 3, check out this shirt, bro. One of the many badass graphic tees based on your favorite pop culture properties that are available for purchase right now at Hot Topic, both in person and online. So be sure to check their website out and tell them Supafly sent you. Number 3, Next Avengers, Heroes of Tomorrow. I've already made multiple videos in the past describing the plot of this movie and why I love it, all in my childhood classics playlist, which you should definitely check out. I just want to stress again how disappointed I am that barely anything's been done with these characters in the comics. They're all right there, you own them, so use them. Which brings us to number 2 and number 1. If you follow me for a while on this page, will shock and astound you. So brace yourselves. Yeah, I know it's basic, okay? Just cut a brother some slack. If we're all being honest, we know it's true. I'll already know how I feel about these movies, how they're both constantly fighting for their place as my favorite movie of all time. They've transcended their genre of storytelling and revolutionized the entire industry of animation. If you can't see why these 2 films deserve the top 2 spot, don't even chat to me. Don't enter my space. So yeah, that's my list, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you're in the greater Toronto area, catch me at Toronto Comic Con this weekend. My team and I are going to be walking the floor and shooting content, doing cosplay interviews, and I'm always down to meet my viewers in person. So if you see me, don't be afraid to say hey. Also, if you fly like me, give me a follow.